that means, and this isn't about me. When I was growing up, 40 years old, when I was growing up, they told us that Russia was the evil empire. We couldn't tweet to anybody. We couldn't call over there. We couldn't do any of that stuff. Lots of the stuff that people are talking about, it could be solved by noon. We could wake up in the morning and solve these problems by noon. I'm a dreamer. So let's do it in a month, a year, 2 years. War's been going on for frickin' ever. And I'm not anti-war. I am frickin' not anti-war. I acknowledge that we need war in this world so people see the good on the other side of that. I am not anti-war. But is there a point that war could be no war in 47 years? Because it's been around forever. We've got to be learning some of these lessons. When you write about this. Write about these things. Write about yourself. I write about my things that I'm going on with it. My back hurts. Write about those things. But write about, every once in a while, take something that say, I'm going to write something here, and I'm going to write a best-selling book. I woke up on a Monday this month, and I said I'm going to write a children's book by Saturday and publish it. The person that co-authored the book with me, I met them on Tuesday. Never met them. Talking to them, didn't ask her, what school did you go to, any of this. I said, in the middle of a conversation, they go, you want to co-author the book? And as you probably know, I did most of the talking the whole time. And all of a sudden, I just, out of inspiration, I said, do you want to co-author the book with me? She said, what's it going to be about? I go, it's Tuesday. I have no idea. I'm writing the book on Friday. I don't have to publish it until that Saturday. And when we wrote that book, I get there on Friday. I had the basic plan. I had gotten that information to her, and she wrote pretty much all the book when I showed up on Friday. I like that. I'm writing 1,000 books. I don't want to spend many times. I have the gift of laziness. That's awesome. I don't want to always be pushing. I want people like you, that we all have this in there, something that can help. Lots of schools are struggling for money. I'm like, the schools want me to beg them. I say, here's my book. There's no illustrations in it. You get your children to write the illustration, I'll sell it worldwide and make some money for you. But it's new and different, so the schools don't want to necessarily go on it. Take action. Take conscious action. Take action on your writing. Sometimes writing it is enough. Sometimes the thoughts that are in your head are enough. Because it changes the way you walk. It gives you more confidence. It's a very important time in our life. Anybody into wildlife conservation? Do you know it's important? I don't really get into this as much, but it is so important. Einstein said, okay, this isn't Steve Jones saying this, Einstein said it. Me, you don't have to believe anything I say. Just you being in my presence, things are going to change for you. Einstein said, when the bees are dead, the world will not be around for 4 more years. I was walking, saw 2 bees. I don't know what happened to these bees, but I saw 2 bees when I was walking today. I don't worry because I know worry's not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to reach inspiration. I'm going to party and have fun. If we have 4 more years left, I want to be the happiest. But can we do both? Can we get progress? Can we have fun? Can we be entertaining? Why not? People work a 40-hour work week. I'm only working 10 of the hours. The rest of the time they're on Facebook. They're doing a lot of different things. What can we do? It's important. One of my things is, and I usually don't get this fired up, but one of my things is 1%. 1% of your gifts. 1% of the things that when you're doing it, it doesn't even seem like work. The 1% that gets you 40%, 35 to 40% of your results. Imagine if you have 100 people giving that 1%. That's 100%. It's something that can take 5 minutes a day, an hour and a half. Why not? I have my blog, I have a $100 million business plan that I'm putting my whole heart into. I'm giving 20% of my company to the first 100,000 people that register on my website. Just for registering. I know it will have value, I see the value to it. That's 20% spread out. So I don't get in a lawsuit before it all happens. I'm spinning my wheel so much, you can't even register on my blog yet. Hopefully by the time somebody's watching this video, we'll be able to register on it. I want people, students on the video, anybody that wants to. I'm not going to be pushy about it. If it's not fun for you, if you're not inspired for that, if you want to look for inspiration for the journals that you're having, go to my blog. I have lots of good things on there that you can cut, paste, put in your journal. Of course, don't just directly do it because Brandy will be able to know that. But just take pieces out of that. It's a simple guide, md.com. Oh, I get to write. I promised myself I'm going to write. What? We know it's www. I can't wait till the day that you don't have to write www.
It's still fun to say it.
Oh, yes. How many times a day do you say that?
Not enough.
I say it too much. Any questions? Anybody wondering what I do?
I want you to talk, before we get to what you do, I want you to talk to me about that, but you touched on how we're blocked, kind of, but I would like you, since the theme was kind of writer's block, and you're talking about creative energy in all ways, talk a little bit about overcoming being blocked, getting rid of that inner critic, and tapping into that, if you could.
My first book that I wrote, I was having a conversation with Nick Petro, and it was in January of 2008. And I said to him that I'd probably never write a book because books, people complicate things to get credit for it. And he said, do you think that's a limiting belief? What a limiting belief is, if you want something, whatever comes up, whatever that story is that you put together, it's a limiting belief. If you acknowledge that you know what a limiting belief is so you don't have them, I did that for 10 years. Don't try that. Just because you know that. I graduated from college with only reading 2 books from cover to cover. And then a little while after that, my first year in business, I was totally stressed. First month in business, totally stressed. And I read a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. All the stress in my spine just totally started to relax. And I ended up going in that organization and taking the class and learning a lot about that. It's very powerful information. So, challenge yourself with your writing. The journal is the perfect place to do it. Challenge yourself. It was amazing the thoughts that you're able to put on a piece of paper that you're going through. You made it funny at the end to do it. And the fact that you shared that says a lot about you. To do it. You volunteered to share it. She didn't call on you, you volunteered to share it. And also it was smart because you got the jump on it. When she reads it later, she'll be laughing instead of saying, oh my goodness. Would you want me to address again? Attention deficit.
I don't know. Being blocked and how we overcome being blocked. You can say more about limiting beliefs and
Okay.
kind of what we do to ourselves with those.
What type of limiting beliefs do you have?